Peace, everybody. It's your boy. Let's talk. We back with another video. All right, man. So Judge Joe Brown, he goes off on Kamala Harris. He exposed her for the wicked and conniving person that she really is.
I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that.
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Now, I've been sitting on this video for about 2 days now, but I never got a chance to get around to it, but I finally got some time, so we're going to check it out. And shout out to the Art of Dialogue podcast, because they're the one who put out this video with Joshua Brown, and they've been putting out a lot of good videos. So make sure y'all check them out if y'all want to see the entire video. Now, Judge Joe Brown, he's old school. He's one of them type of guys who got no filter. And truth be told, I honestly believe that we need more black men like him in the community, because right now we really got nobody to set anybody straight. And if we had more men like Judge Joe Brown speaking up and telling the truth on situations, then I think a lot of people within the community would be better off.
He ain't lying.
All right, no more wasting time. We're going to check this video out. But as always, before we do that, make sure I hit the like and subscribe. All right, let's see what he's talking about.
Sure about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. I was out in California for 15 years doing my show when she was at her peak, and she had a reputation amongst the trial lawyers of being lazy. She just hike her skirt up and try to flirt, and she wasn't that good in the courtroom, if not pretty bad in the courtroom. So I'm not surprised at what she does. She's 60 years old, and I think listening to her word salad and the way she talks, I think she's got early onset dementia and also some problems with menopausal complications. That's that, you see, today is going to be tomorrow, so since it's going to be tomorrow, today we have tomorrow, which is why we are now. Like, what did you say?
Yo, Judge Joe Brown, funny as hell. He never fails to disappoint. And the funny thing is he absolutely right, because she always do some type of word salad and she talk like she's a 5-year-old in preschool.
They suited up, they waved to their families, and they rode an elevator up nearly 20 stories.
When people do stuff like that, that really just goes to show you that they really ain't got nothing intelligent to say at all. So they just try to use big words more than 3 syllables just to try to make themselves seem intelligent and seem smart, when in reality, they really don't know nothing.
They have something in mind, but they cannot cognate getting all the way through it, which is why she's famous for this word salad garbage, and she doesn't make a bit of sense. I think since she's only 60, she's actually on a worse track than Biden was. Biden is 20-some years older than her, and he has been senile for a long time. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, when did they start ramping up to do this? 2019. Okay, I was saying Biden has been a failure his whole adult career, a second-rate, third-string player. He's in the game, so he wants to make a name for himself. I considered him for years poor trailer park, urban trailer park trash. And he's a crook. He's a third stringer. Now, what I said he was going to do is he probably wants to claim fame for being the first person to see to it that a woman got to be president. And what I predicted, I'm slightly wrong on it, was that he was going to get in, try to get elected, and if he got one term, try to get elected for a second one. And then halfway through his term, when he had served 2 years, to retire or resign in her favor. So under the 22nd Amendment, what happens is she can serve for the final 2 years for somebody and then be elected twice more. So that woman would be able to serve 10 years, second only to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who got elected to 4 terms before they put the amendment in place so you couldn't.
You know, it always amazes me someone who as old as Judge O'Brown can have such good memory as he does. Like that man can remember stuff from back in 1936 if he wanted to.
Word?
But he's absolutely right on that as well, because he's talking about Franklin Roosevelt, born 1882 and served from 1933 up until his death in 1945, and he was the only president who served more than 2 terms. And that's the thing that they was trying to do with Kamala Harris, because the Democratic Party, they knew Biden wasn't coherent enough to be able to serve another term if he just so happened to stayed in a race and he beat Donald Trump. So what they was going to do was something was going to happen and Kamala was going to be able to fill in for him, and then she can potentially run 2 more times, and if she won, then she would be in office for more than 8 years. She would be in office potentially 10 or 11 years, something like that. So she potentially had more office time than Franklin Roosevelt had their plan had took off, but it didn't.
Got him!
It actually backfired, so now they got to do it the old school way. And I'm glad Judge O'Brown called them out on this, because not a lot of people have knowledge of this. I think if more people were aware and had more knowledge of American history and how politics work, then in essence, there would be more informed voters.
Now, that said, I think, and my major at UCLA was political science. My analysis was is they picked the weakest somebody they could as a figurehead, somebody who had some apparent minority status, which she does not. And what goes on is that you get her, everybody that is everybody would be afraid to go against her because of what she can pass herself off as. And then you get somebody that's easy to control because she's lazy, because she is becoming incoherent, and because she's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent.
Yo, let's give a shout out to Judge Joe Brown. Yo, he said it right on the money. And he's absolutely right, because you can fake it till you make it, but that is only going to get you to a certain point. You know, eventually you're going to have to show your worth. You're going to have to prove what you really know. And I can say that firsthand, because I've always been the person who faked it till I make it. Like, that was the way I always got by. And I can honestly say that because I'm at a point in my life now where I'm actually trying to change that. I'm just trying to do things the right way from the beginning all the way to the end. You can't always fake it till you make it. And I've learned that the hard way. So what he's saying about that is absolutely right about that.
Oh, say less.
Not only that, but she is incompetent and she's controllable. Like, how would she be able to deal with some serious world conflicts? Think about her in a situation if she actually got into a meeting with Putin or Kim Jong Un. Like, there's a lot of people over here in this country who's talking about, yeah, they want Kamala to run because she's a female and she's quote unquote African American.
I beg your pardon?
But besides all that, can she really handle serious situations? Do y'all trust her in a real world situation if we had some type of issue where it could possibly be world war? Like, would y'all trust her to be the person to deal with that?
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't even trust Joe Biden for that. I would trust Trump because when he was in office, none of that stuff was going on. And he's the type of person that you don't want to try to call his bluff, because he actually might do the type of things that he say he will do. And then her issues on policies is just all upside down. She was the border czar and she did absolutely nothing for that. The only thing she did while she was the vice president, and still is, was she traveled to different countries in Africa trying to get them to side with America on the LGBT community rights. Where you seen a lot of African presidents, they was like, no, we not going for that. So if y'all want to try to sanction us and try to turn y'all back on us and stop giving us money and support, cool, because we Africa. We got natural resources. We got minerals that no place on earth got. So I think we'll be all right. And I think that Africa was right for doing stuff like that because you can't go over to another country and try to force your deluded politics and beliefs on someone else, especially if their beliefs is pure and righteous.
Oh, oh, Muhammad Ali.
So she fumbled the ball on that one too. So everything Judge Joe Brown saying is right, and you got a lot of other people saying this now. And at first, there was a divide with the men and the women and the black community on this, but now I'm starting to see there's not really so much a divide between the men and the women no more because more and more there's starting to be a lot of black women coming out, and they're actually starting to agree too, and they're not being afraid to stick up for what they believe, and they're starting to see that yeah, the Democrats have been doing us dirty for a long time. And if Kamala get in office, then it's really going to be some serious trouble. So now you got a lot of females coming out the woodworks, and they starting to side with the men, and they saying, "I think we're going to vote for Donald Trump this coming November." So this election is real telling, and it's getting real interesting, and it's starting to show who goes with the herd mentality and those who are free thinkers and want to think for themselves and actually put what's best and forward and logical instead of just trying to go with the flow because of identity politics.
Yes.
So I think it's getting real. But this was an interesting video from Judge Brown. As always, he always got no filter. I love doing reactions to him. I don't really do them as much as I used to, but I need to start doing them more. And I think we're going to start seeing more people of note coming out and starting to give their opinions on Kamala Harris too. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.